Let's do it.
Let's get rolling. Yay!
Hey. Now, MoRoots. We've hosted a lot of. Woo, okay.
Sorry.
See, it looks like you know what to do already. Please go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Go for it.
I was just saying, we've only had a lawyer freestyle to this.
Okay.
All the talent that we've hosted,
They freak out.
they freak out. So,
Why?
I don't know.
come on.
Okay.
MoRoots in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead.
Let's go.
Hey, 1, 2.
We
Hey.
on the master box today.
Hey.
The last time I checked, it's a Wednesday. I'm having a good time with my boy B. And my boy Steve Keys with the master B.
This is it. Guys.
Yeah.
Only on the master bus.
Right here, right
Only
here.
on the master
Listen.
bus.
Hey.
I cannot take this level of hype. You guys can't hype me like this.
Yo, we got MoRoots in the building.
In the building.
Hey, yo, nowadays there's a saying, we got MoRoots in the Chizim, baby.
Y'all are crazy, man.
Yo, so good to have you. Welcome to the Master Bus. This is the second female.
You know you're the second female
Second
to be
female
on the, show,
the Master
bro.
Bus, and we've been getting a lot of requests. Yo, you
Like,
guys,
we need more females.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But yo, don't blame us, man.
No, why
You
shall we
ladies.
blame you? We shall blame you.
Trust me, we want to have ladies on the show, but
We
yeah,
need more females in the.
in the creative industry.
We absolutely do.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do about that?
You know what, yeah? I started a foundation.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Uh-huh.
called the MoRoots Foundation.
Okay.
Okay.
And the vision is to advocate for a more inclusive creative industry. Basically, to promote females in the creative industry. And
Okay.
to advocate, to create
But they need to want to.
opportunities. They
Yeah.
need to want to, for
You
sure.
s-
They do, but they do.
Okay. You think there is a system that stops them from getting in there?
I think it's a combination of things. I think to a certain extent there is some systemic things. I think there is working culture. I think there is just some like historic stereotypes and stigma around some areas within the creative industry.
Yeah.
I think there's a safety thing that people don't really talk about.
Safety, what do you mean?
So, for example, within like the live music scene, I don't know whether you don't or whether you underestimate the fact that you guys as guys, whether you actually think one day, if I'm performing at a gig at Gatomato and the gig ends at midnight, the idea of how I'm going to get home and my safety being a genuine barrier.
Yeah, because
or being in
creatives,
certain creative
the
spaces.
timing is.
We work at very odd hours. You all
Yeah.
are shooting at whatever AM in
That's
the morning and
interesting.
things like that. There's very
Never
many
looked at it like
dynamics.
that.
Yeah, surprisingly.
No, I mean, you're
I
a guy.
wonder why.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not your experience, and you're
Oh,
a guy.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's many reasons and issues around why we don't see a lot of
You know how I
creatives.
feel? I feel like she has
females
really
within
thought
the
this thing
But
through.
okay, so
Yeah.
so you feel like that's one of the hindrances?
Yeah, I think so. And so when I say it comes down to like, there's a role that we and that whole idea of advocating for an inclusive industry is. Do we get to a point where, and I don't know whether it's like embedded practice, but if you are going to put people in these spaces, you make sure that there's security as they're going home. If you're going to bring people into these spaces, you make sure that if like women are nursing or have kids, it's an environment that is
Oh, yeah.
welcoming. As an advertising agency, for example, or as a film studio, is your environment conducive to allowing and enabling women to feel comfortable and able to be their best, but also still be all the things that make them a woman in that space. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, because actually for me, like, besides security, for example, I don't know if it's a systematic thing, but like, if I was married, if I married a woman, it would
In
be
the business.
Yeah, it would be easy for me to come back at 3 a.m. And she would be waiting for me at home. And
Wait
but
a
then-
minute.
but-
A woman who is in the creative.
Yes, I'm giving you an example.
Okay.
But if I had a wife who comes back at 3 from work, I think it's just, I don't know if that's culture or anything. It would be kind of weird. They'd be like, you're someone's wife. Like, you're coming back at 3 a.m.
So you're saying.
Yeah. Is that cultural? Is that
feels
what's that?
double standard.
Yeah, it's-
but
that's-
also
it's a double
there's,
yeah.
there's definitely a cultural part of that. I think
Yeah.
there's a, it's just not like like how the patriarchy has been set up. Like the
Yeah.
expectations of a woman should be, well, historically.
Yeah,
you know.
you'll definitely be looked at as a muyaye.
Yeah, like an unserious woman. Yeah.
Asiba mubala.
Do you get? Well,
And you know, like gig ladies or creatives,
you know how many?
definitely you'll have a lot of male friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haina basajja bangi.
I've heard it all.
This is interesting.
Bambi. Okay. Anyway, welcome.
You know,
to
we
the
already
Master-
What an
started.
intro.
We already started. This is an intro. We
Yeah.
don't even-
So we warned you, Master Bus. We talk about a lot of things.
Anything.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Good insight.
So Mo,
Everyone
we're gonna-
calls you MoRoots. Wow.
Not
No,
everybody.
Apart from your dad.
No.
but I call him Mo. What does your dad call you?
Momo.
Momo. Okay. And your mom?
Momo as well.
Yeah.
Where does the roots come from?
So my surname is Rutabingwa.
Hey.
So it's just like
Okay, that made me feel.
Are you related to Rutabingwa?
we are not blood relatives, but
Yeah.
we are
Vibe mates.
vibe and village mates, let's say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our ancestors were probably related.
What does it mean, Rutabingwa?
Rutabingwa, he who cannot be moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kubingwa is to move.
Kuwinga is to chase, like
Okay.
to move away.
And so you can't be moved.
I cannot.
Hey.
Let's say my
Okay.
spirit, because me, I move everywhere and I can live anywhere.
You are
So-
nomadic.
So I gotta ask you, MoRoots. Right now, where are you? And I'm not talking about physically. Where are you in the music space? Where are you in your career? And how balanced is it?
That's such a loaded question, yeah?
Okay, let's break it down. Musically, where are you?
So, can I give you context?
Go ahead.
I think the way you phrase that question is really interesting, right? Because there are a lot of people who know MoRoots, the musician. There's a lot of people who know
MoRoots, the client.
MoRoots, the client. Maureen Rutabingwa, the employee.
The boss.
The boss, let's say.
Boss.
And I think for the longest time, those two identities, even in me, were separate. And I struggled to actually, like, which one am I?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had an identity crisis for a long time because I was like corporate, but also creative, and those two worlds didn't really
Clash.
mix, in a way that felt comfortable for me. So when I'm at work, I'm a different person. When I'm on stage, I'm a different person. And so I've gone through kind of like an evolution over the last couple of years and came to a realization not very long time ago. It was like in the last 2 years that actually Mo is one person. She is all things. She's a corporate.
Multifaceted.
She's a creative. She's an innovator. She's a,
She's
and
also a happy person.
very.
From the heart. Your happiness is infectious.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And all the things as a creative fuel me and make me like the beast in the corporate world that I am. And all the things that I learned from that corporate world make me a really efficient creative, which is something that some creatives don't get enough for. Do you get?
Rewind
Yeah.
that. Rewind. Did you hear that? Like, like an efficient
Yes.
creative. Because I know, like, and I'm guilty of that, but I'm improving from working in the corporate world.
Yeah.
Actually, that I learned how so inefficient I've been for the most part of my life when I was not employed. Because
Yeah.
we have that thing of, no, I have all the time in the
You
world.
have all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
in the
so you-
world. Yeah.
you don't-
I'm still waiting for the vibe.
For the
I'm
inspiration.
waiting to catch a vibe. And then when the
Vibe.
vibe doesn't catch you, Inga, you've not done
3
any
years.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't released an album. You haven't done anything.
Yeah.
You're still waiting on the vibe.
It's
Yeah. And so I think there's a power in that
efficient,
actually, right?
creative. So creatives need to be efficient as well.
I think so, because in this day and age, like, we can't just be creatives for the sake of creatives. Like, there's that element of productivity, right?
Yeah.
And we have to be productive,
Yeah.
which means we have to
And
make the
accountable.
most. Yeah.
Accountable.
And we have to make the most of the time that we have. So we can't afford to just like wait for
I'm
the
not in
vibe
the
to
mood.
catch.
Yeah.
And that's some of the discipline, or like, what's the word? Some of those principles that the corporate world teaches you. When you have a deadline, bruh, you have a deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Whether or not you're in the mood, you can't, send an email to say, really sorry, didn't catch the vibe.
Yeah.
And I'll get back to
Can
you.
we
like,
try again? Check on me
Let me
next
tell you,
month.
It doesn't exist.
let me tell you, here at Swanks, one of the most scary phrases, like when you see it, your heart starts beating, is timelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once they say timelines, you're like, oh my God.
I remember when I was working on my album, A New Day, it's a long time ago. I worked on the album for over, I think, a year and a half. Until Julius was like, on such and such a date,
Yeah.
I
This
am
thing
going
is
to
coming
China. And trust me, whatever songs that are done, those are the songs that are
That's
making
what's
the
coming
album.
back on the CD.
And I thank God for that, because I think I would not have finished. Trust me. 'Cause
Yeah.
Why are we
It's
like
possible.
that?
like you're always tweaking things.
Yeah.
Then,
It's never perfect.
Then it's now a year, and then the song that you started with, you're like, but I'm
That's
I'm
not
no longer
who
in that
I
space.
am now. It
I'm
doesn't
not in
feel
that
like
space.
me.
I need to
Yeah.
rewrite a verse. I
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
redo.
Yeah.
So yeah, timelines help a lot, and I've learned that even if it's music that is a year or 2 years ago, yeah, that is the phase where I was, and
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
And
for
then
people
there are
to
people-
hear where I was,
Where you
and,
were and who you were.
And then there are
where I am
people
now.
where you might have advanced, but then there are people who are in that space.
Yeah, that need to hear
They need
what,
to
That
hear
what
that.
you're
message
saying.
Yeah.
and whatever it
Yeah.
is that you were going through at that time. Yeah, it's true.
You know,
Yeah.
It's true.
I
So
personally,
she has not answered the third part. It
We-
is how balanced.
So there are these two people. We are now one. We are now living in perfect
In one
harmony
body.
here, in one body. We're not fighting each other,
yeah.
and we are creating space for everybody to shine. And so, where I'm at, I think I'm at the point where I've found that balance. I've created a lot of music over the last couple of years during COVID. I've ventured out into like sound consultancy for our industry that I'm in. I've done music for film. I've done soundtracks. I've been doing music for soundtrack for a documentary. And yeah, it's all because I've stopped fighting. You're now going to hear some music this year.
How do you find the balance? To me, I have this impression that you're one of those very busy people. You know, you're doing things in Kenya,
At a
in
high
UK,
level.
in Tanzania, Uganda. You're
Yeah.
overlooking a lot of things, and yet you're still able to do the
Yeah.
music.
I would say that's where, like, because a core part of the job that I have in innovation is being like a expert level project planner, right? So I plan and I protect my time. So the time that I have for like day jobo is the time that I have. The time that I create for music and to do other things is the time that I
That's
have.
your time.
So
Yeah.
oftentimes the only thing that you need to do actually is let me know, oh Mo, I want to do this thing. And I'll say if this is the time that I have. And we'll do it. I'm not
Yeah.
like busy all the time. But I protect my time, and the time that I say this is your time, it's your time. Do you get what I mean?
Great.
Yeah, but also it will come from a place where you're able to execute in time. Because if you don't finish your job or work, you're not going to find time to,
to do other things.
You can't
That's true.
That's true. You can't cheat, either of the parties. Like if you don't do it in time, it's going to end up entering your whatever you call personal time.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's also been an evolution, because it's like when I was younger at the brewery, gigging in 3 bands, like doing all that.
We really need to dig into that.
Yeah.
We need to dig into
At that
story.
point, I had terrible. One could say I was balanced because I was doing everything, but I was exhausted. I wouldn't sleep. I'd leave work. I'd either go for a rehearsal or go for a gig, get home at like 1, be back in the office at 7. Like I was just exhausted. It wasn't sustainable. But like in this day and age, with there's like Zoom, there's online anything. I think I've managed to find the balance. But like the biggest thing is, I really protect my time, and I don't like when people waste it.
Do you think that the music side of you gives you an edge over your peers in the corporate world?
I think so. Because I'm not your typical corporate. We were talking about
anomaly.
We were talking about this earlier. The hairstyle that I had when I first applied for
Somebody told.
Okay, so hold on. Let me tell you a joke. So there's this guy. He's a very
funny.
skilled guitar player. He's called Charmant. So Charmant used to have dreadlocks. So at some point he cut off his dreadlocks. Then someone met him and asked him, "You're no longer a musician." Just because he can't. So MoRoots, some people can't recognize us. Like, is she the one? Like, what does she have hair in the side of her?
I remember there's a time you really had a
Oh
crazy
my
mohawk.
God.
Yeah.
That was her.
I was bald on both sides, and here I had like a shot.
Yeah,
it was
we
like
would come to UBL for a meeting.
So imagine the shock of the people who interviewed me. I was a bit of an outlier. And I think that helped in one sense because I stood out from the crowd. It also has its disadvantages, right? Because there's just immediate perceptions and judgments that are made about you.
Oh, no more. Yeah.
Yeah, once you have a tattoo and colored hair, they're like, no, she's not
if you
serious.
have weird hair, if you don't dress a certain way, if you address people in a very, like I'm a very informal, like we are buddies, like whoever you are. And that idea of like in spaces that are very hierarchical, if you can call an MD by his first name, it can shock people. But so there was a lot of things that it kind of, I think, made me stand out in one way, was a source of a couple of issues in another way. But I think within that setting, my creativity, and this comes back to the point of like my people are not fighting. My creativity fuels me and actually makes me a different beast within the corporate world, because a lot of corporates are not created to be creative. They are doers. But when you can think outside the box, when you're comfortable with a blank page of like, I don't know what this thing is going to sound like, but let's create. Those, those elements of creativity make me, I think they propel me above a lot of my peers within the same industry.
That's interesting. And Benon, one of the things I've learned in the very recent past is that when you're like, it would be a piece of advice for me to give people in the corporate world. You need to find extracurricular activities. They kind of help you reset your mind. Of course, in Uganda, mostly it's drinking that people do after work. But you need to find like either you play soccer or go on a piano, something that resets your mind. Like even me, after like if I've had a day where I've been hearing so many things, I want to go and play some basketball. Or I want to, so that my mind just goes off of the music a little bit. By the time I come back, I feel a bit. Even working out helps
feel like
me.
You've reset.
Helps me
for
do
me,
that.
it's spin.
It's It just
spin class. You're bad on that bike, eh?
It's a vibe, and it's like if I miss a spin class,
You feel bad.
I'll be sad.
You know, it's very.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, but we all need those that outlet.
Things
Yeah.
that let you
di-
switch off. That's why, like, there was a time I would get frustrated, like when you go out, let's say to a club. I used to love to club, but man, you go out, people are screaming in your ear. In fact, I wanted to call you because you see now. Like, yo, I had come.
No
out.
peace.
Yeah. I have this
Like,
new
I just-
song.
I just
now
came
I'm
to chill,
enjoying.
man.
I'm enjoying the spin.
Yeah.
You know, you're there. You're in your own world.
Yeah.
And you're sweating. And
That's
you're,
nice.
Let's
That's
get
nice.
a bit of your background from the way you speak. You sound.
What's that
like-
mean?
Oli mzungu. Yeah. How did you get where you are?
Yeah.
Tell us.
How
from-
much time did you spend away? How much time, were you born elsewhere?
Okay, so I grew up in Kenya.
Okay.
Sasa kama kawaida kweli kweli.
Aha,
things.
asante sana, karibuni.
You speak Swahili? Kidogo kidogo.
Yeah,
Okay,
I always find when I go to Nairobi, it just comes out, and I get very good very quickly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I
So
speak like
Benon
basic
has his
Swahili.
Swahili that he speaks. Yeah, Jamila analia, mwana wake amemwacha.
Anapenda vitu vya bei kali.
I read those chameleon lyrics.
Yeah, man. Nakuomba endelea.
Well,
Okay, Nairobi.
Okay,
this
so-
guy is a distraction. Sorry. Please go ahead.
Actually, I should start with 100% Ugandan. Mom and dad are Ugandan.
Okay.
Grew up in Kenya. Did my primary school there.
Why?
Your parents were living there?
Yes.
Okay.
My folks were living there and working there at the time. And then I moved to UG. I did my secondary school here in Uganda.
Where?
At Rainbow International School.
Hey, mama. Is that where you picked up the
tried.
the
Just trying to
luzungu?
swallow? No, I think it's just a byproduct of being in, because when we were in Kenya as well, I was in an international school. And so I was just taught by a bunch of white people, loads of British and American teachers. So my early childhood, it came like that. And then it just kind of stayed.
Hey, mama.
And then after after high school in Uganda, I moved to the UK for uni. And I was in England in a city called Norwich for about 3.5 years doing a degree. And then after that, I came back to UG very quickly, actually, after I had graduated. I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this UK life at that point in time, like just coming out of uni. So I came home.
What were you pursuing?
So I have a degree in business management with a major in marketing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Which is what you're doing now.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my
Incredible.
Yeah, it is. So I came home and I joined an advertising agency. That was my first job. I was at Mad Advertising.
Mad advertising. But
Do you know Alemu?
Shout out to Mad Advertising
Yeah.
because I think Mad has helped to churn out a lot of
A lot
creatives.
of talent, a
Yeah.
lot of
Do
creative.
you know
I was
Emron
sitting there.
Alemu?
I
Of
do.
course.
I know.
I was
Alemu.
actually so happy for.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh my God! This number, Mr. Chimoli Idris.
Idris.
Yeah, I think he got the Lifetime Achievement Award in the first ever Uganda advertising something.
Right. So
And
well deserved.
yeah.
Ads is cool, yeah. He's a really cool guy. I learned a lot from him. And actually, one of the things that I really appreciate is that he clocked that I was a creative. So while I was at Mad Advertising, I was in client service. That was the role that I was hired to do. But I spent probably like 70% of my time there, like in the design studio. Just like watching the guys, talking to copywriters, being a part of brainstorms, just like soaking up that creative energy because I was really drawn to it.
Yeah.
And I just love that, like to sit next to somebody and watch him create a poster or a billboard or a flyer and all of these things. So, and he was very enabling of that behavior. It was never like,
yeah, go on.
this is not your space. Like, he really just let me observe and learn, which I really appreciated.
Man,
Yeah.
isn't it very fascinating to see that? I think it's Steve Jobs who talked about, like, when you connect the dots, things make sense. Like, imagine now you're almost like on the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
But you know, you're able to, and you understand. Say if you're briefing an agency, things to do with print or an ad, or because you are
I've
on
been
the
on
agency
the other side,
so
yeah.
it's really fascinating.
And you know what?
how-
Actually, that's one of the things that made me, when I was finally ready to switch. Because also in client service, you deal with clients, right?
Yeah.
And some clients. Sorry, I'm sorry. Some clients are like not great people.
Okay. I understand. I can hear you now. Go on.
And I had like some pretty tough experiences with some like ugly humans who just felt like at that time, like I was young, I was a young lady, first job.
So let me make
creative
your life
industry.
difficult.
Yeah, it just felt like they were just being intentionally brutal to me. And that thing really pained me. And so one of the things that I vowed now when I was making that switch is that because I've experienced this other side, I always want to be the best client that somebody has had an experience with. And that experience shaped now how I engage with other partners, agencies, creatives. Because I've been on the receiving end of like some nastiness, it's
so
not great.
You don't want to be that bastard.
No.
Yeah,
It shall not be me.
But also it helps. Like sometimes clients forget that even these third-party suppliers, they are your partners. So whatever we're trying to create together, we are in this together.
Yeah.
So half the time I'm feeding off your energy.
Yeah.
To produce some dope stuff for
me.
you. Yeah. So be nice. Be nice. Bring the vibe.
Yeah.
Let me, be excited to work on your stuff. And, but unfortunately some people just want to feel like
That bossy kind of.
Yeah, which I think personally is like a really redundant mindset to have.
It's unnecessary.
Because we are like your extension. If you guys are receiving a brief, you are an extension of me. If you do badly, I look shit.
Yeah.
So it's in my best interest to bring you on that journey, to inspire you, to make you feel like my success is yours.
Yeah. True.
What year did you come back?
Come back from where? Where are we? Where are we?
Mad.
From Mad.
Because I remember, personally, I met you in 2012.
12-ish.
Yeah. And then I think you had just joined Mad, if I wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong.
Yeah. I had, that's about right.
Yeah.
So I was at Mad for about a year and a half. And then from Mad, I joined Uganda Breweries. And so I joined the brewery.
What made you switch? Was it the mullah?
No, it wasn't. I think at that time, I wanted to get into a space, because MAD is great, but it's also it's a small agency. So it's not like I was going to grow up the ranks and run the agency at some point, right? Because it was a small and tight unit at the time. So I wanted to be in a space where, from a career point of view, I could grow and build a career in marketing. And it felt like, at the time, it was going to be a brewery, a telecom, or a bank.
Okay. Bank, maybe not so much.
And again, you see this thing that you've just said of like when you start to connect the dots. When there was I knew from a very long time ago that I was going to work for the brewery. I attended believe it or not, a Kwela concert.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was years before I joined the band.
Kwela.
And I saw the 3 ladies on stage at the time.
Yeah.
And there was like Tusker Malt branding somewhere around. And I was like, I'm going to do that. Now, I don't know which that I was talking about specifically, whether it was being in Kwela or being part of the brewery. But I was like, I'm going to work with those brands at some point.
Wow.
And then like I got that opportunity. I had first applied for like a graduate scheme program that I didn't get accepted to at the Bury. And then they called me when they had a role in brand. And I was like, yeah, why not? Let's go.
do this.
Let's go brand manage some beer.
And straight away it was Bell?
So the role that I was hired to do was assistant brand manager for Bell. But at the time, about like 2-3 weeks in, I wasn't really like given much to do. And there was an innovation role that was going to be introduced into the system that didn't have that wasn't there before. So my boss, the lady who hired me, said, "Look, there's this innovation role. You're new. You're fresh."
Who was your boss?
Grace. Her name is Grace.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know her.
yeah.
Very cool lady.
Boss lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Grace was like, "There's an innovation role. It's new. You're here."
And you're different.
And you're new.
You're so new.
You're new.
If you can learn, we'll support. We'll learn the process. We'll learn the process together. But you want to do it. And like that's how I fell into innovation. And 9 years later,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
And just for those that don't know, where are you right now? What
So
are you up
now,
to?
I am based in London, and I am the and I am head of spirit innovation for Total Africa.
Africa.
God damn.
Yeah,
God damn.
for Africa.
Where's that? Diageo?
Diageo. Yeah.
Please explain what Diageo is.
We want to be sure we're allowed to say that.
It's one of, if not the world's #1 alcohol spirits company. Yeah, with like amazing brands. Can I mention them? Ciroc,
Please,
Johnny
go
Walker, Guinness, Bailey's, Smirnoff.
Baileys is my kind of drink. You know, when you get to my age, you see in the bars, Bambi people like to judge. Such a big man like you.
Drinking Baileys.
I enjoy my Baileys.
Yes.
At your age, you don't care.
I don't care.
Yes.
So, if you see me sipping on my Baileys, please don't bother me.
Don't disturb me.
Don't try to convert me. Come on, you need something manly. No, I enjoy my Baileys.
Who was it that did that song with some British artists of "Can I Get a Baileys on the Rocks"? Do you know that song?
Biscuit boy.
The name has completely gone.
Oh my God.
It's fine. Just know that song is going to forever remind me of you.
It's going to bother me
So
for the rest of the show.
you've been working, you said 9, like 11 years altogether?
No, 9 from the as in total,
Including
like my total
Mad.
career, including. Why are you counting?
Yeah,
It's
he has some hidden agenda.
No, it's experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if
okay.
you know what's surprising?
12.
There was one time
More
I
than
met musicians. It was at Watoto Church. You know the question they asked me? They didn't ask me to play anything. They're like, "How long have you been playing?"
Okay.
I got so confused. I was like, "Why would they care how long?"
Yeah.
They should worry. They should ask themselves, "Can you play?" Yeah, you know what I mean. But they're like, "How long have you been playing?" And I've been playing most of my life. They're like, "Okay, you know what I mean."
Okay.
So now, like from your experience in the corporate world is
Let's call it 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
How has it been?
Great.
Is it fun?
It has been interesting. Yeah, it's been a wild ride, right? Because as I had said before, like we are not, I don't think I was built, like made for that world. But somehow I found a joy in this thing called innovation. And I think, again, it leads back to this, like at the core of it, I'm a creator. Whatever that thing is, like I just love to create. Could be music, could be a drink, could be a sandwich, could be like whatever.
Yeah.
But at the core, I'm a creator. And so I found this space that allowed me to do it. And so that's where like I consistently find joy, because the corporate world has its things, right? It has its things.
Yeah. it's terms and conditions apply.
Yeah. And so there's a way, there's a game, there's a system, there's a, if you want to move up, there's people, there's networking, there's schmoozing, there's
Yeah.
a whole bunch of stuff that comes with just like outside of the job that you have to do just to exist in that environment. Requires you to do a lot of things, which has been the interesting part, because you can either decide to do it, mold yourself to become the thing that grows quickly, or just find a way to like still be like not lose yourself within that space. And so I think there were times where I probably started to over-index and kind of evolve into this like real corporate-y dry person that I didn't like. And I was like, I think
You're
I
losing
need
the
to,
vibe.
I think I'm actually losing this, like the spirit of who I am. And then doing stuff that you don't enjoy and having conversations that are just so pretentious and not you, and a lot of things, But I think the more I've been in this space, the more I've grown in confidence of who I am and what I bring. Actually, to be a corporate is like not a thing. Me, I'm just me. I exist in this world, but I'm a creative.
I know what
in
you
it.
mean. Yeah.
And that is one of like the best. And I know it takes time to get there, but it's the best position to be in. Like I'll give you an example. I am confident and happy with what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
Like we are problem
solvers. And it's so brilliant, by the way.
We are problem solvers.
Yes.
So that means if a client reaches out to me and they want ABCD, I won't be shy about giving my opinion and you know, telling them, hey, you know, this is what I think. And I could be wrong, but you know,
this is what I think.
It's okay. It's what I think. I think you should do ABCD. It's really a good thing. And for our kind of business, we pitch a lot. You know, but it no longer hurts when you lose a pitch, because you in your heart you feel you've done your best, and you feel like probably they went with somebody who had a better solution than mine
to the brief.
And it's a great place to be.
The confidence,
when
the satisfaction.
That you're giving your all and you're loving it, and you are able to solve someone's situation or their problem, or
and have a distinct and unique point of view. Let me tell you something that actually is really depending on what setting you are in, because there's some clients who don't like to be challenged. Those are the worst, the ones who think they know. Because my thing is, if you know, then why don't you solve your own brief?
True.
I see.
But I think just holding on to that of like, actually my point of view is really valid, and being challenged, because challenging your ideas, challenging the way you think, I think only takes you to like a better understanding of what you believe,
a wider
or at
perspective.
least opens your perspective. Like, actually, there might have been something that I didn't know, and I appreciate being challenged that way. Hold on to that thing, man. It's sweet.
And it helps to be open-minded, so that you're not. No.
This is what is.
Absolutely. Cool. And this space that I'm in, of innovation, things change all the time.
Like trends.
And they're changing so quickly. We are so connected to, like, we do a lot of research, a lot of consumer immersions. We're always talking to young people, blah, blah, blah. Things are changing. If you are of the notion that your old school way of the thing that you were thinking, even as near as 2018 was, things have moved. You need to be open-minded. You need to be in that space of, I know what I know, but I'm willing to know that the thing that I knew might not be the thing that it is. And to be like, okay, and to be okay with just like learning new, like relearning all the time.
We had Emron here, and he was talking about unlearning.
He talks about it really beautifully. Of saying,
great.
I don't know.
So Mo, let's talk about music. we've
Meandered.
over corporate things.
Yeah,
but,
we've overgone corporate.
but it's also important, and maybe remind me, we need to talk about, as like creatives, especially, or the badongo, gigs, artists, certain, we don't understand how certain things work.
Yeah.
Say like in the corporate world, or even how the business, having that
That side of-
business minded, and it has always been a hindrance. Anyway, I didn't want to talk about that.
Okay.
I want to ask you something, and I know it's a little complicated. You might not have the answer, but just give me your opinion and what you think. There's always been this thing where, like I can name a lot of super, super duper talented people.
Yeah.
I don't even want to call them artists.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, okay, musicians. Yeah. But sometimes they don't really, they don't become
No.
mainstream, or
No.
we
He's trying to say they
Do
don't
you know
make
what he's
it.
trying to say?
Yeah.
What can you say?
So he's saying, I know he's trying not to be offensive.
Tread carefully.
But what he's
Okay.
saying that he knows very many talented people who never make it big.
yeah.
Okay.
But like if you hear them say sing or play or do whatever artistry that they are good at, they should be on TV. They sing better than Beyonce, or they dance
they should
better.
be filling up
Right.
stadiums, and
But then
you know.
You, you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, and when I say they don't make it big, probably that's
That's their
maybe. It's no crime saying, okay, for me, I just want to be in this lane. And
Yeah.
Yeah, but and half the time, you have to dig deeper if you are fan of these people.
Yeah.
Like I personally, there are guys that I call up. Hey, I saw you posted this song, but I'm trying to look for it. I can't.
And it's not.
I actually called you sometime, and you had to send me the song
I
on
feel like
WhatsApp.
you're
You
talking
feel
about
you're
me.
attacked. No,
I feel
okay.
personally attacked because he really did. He was like, "Where's the song?" I'm
Yeah.
like, on my computer.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's up with that? What? Why? Are you guys? Do you feel
So
like
now
you're
you're part of the group.
Yeah.
You are, because
Okay. Clear.
yeah, you are
I'm
multi-talented. Okay, I'm sure you understand what I mean.
Okay.
but-
No, I understand.
yeah.
I understand. And I'm assuming that is in the context of UG.
Yeah.
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 I think it is.
No, the world, the globe.
No, but
No,
in
there's a
UG it's
specific
worse.
UG thing.
No, because
Yeah,
it's like going on YouTube and then you see some cowboy who has deadly vocals.
No, but guess what? Out there, you can see people like Erika Badu doing their thing.
There's a lot of diversity.
But they've hit it
Yeah.
No, I get the question. I would say, okay, a couple of things come to mind. One is the audience ready for at scale, and let me say a scalable mass audience ready for potentially the kind of music that
To consume that
people
particular.
And by the way,
are
he's
to
in,
consume.
he's in that circle as well. just so you know. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think one is that
Yeah.
it's it's not any different to how even the concept of underground soul in the States, right? There's hip hop, which is a huge movement. There's R&B, which is a huge movement. There's underground. There's neo soul, which are slightly smaller movements because there's smaller audiences for that. And so I think one thing might just be the audience, but I think there's a bigger implication on that of, your audience is how you sustain a show. You need to fill up spaces for it to be profitable. You need to, for it to be, what's the word? Sustainable. Do you have an audience that can sustain you? And do you have like a network? So if we think about like the media, do you have the radio support to spread? Because how do you grow an audience, right? You need to reach more people. How do you reach more people? Are you on radio? Are you online, etc.? Are the radios supporting that genre of music and that agenda? If not, then you kind of find yourself in a space where you build your community. It might be small, but if they rock with you, they rock with you.
Yeah, they're solid.
And you'll be
And they're
happy.
solid, and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
I found as well, like for me, what I really enjoyed was curating experiences, right? So people coming to really experience what I'm doing.
Yeah. And connect with them
and be able to
at that level.
soak it in.
Yeah,
and
in like
enjoy
a
and-
super intimate level.
Yeah.
And so for me, like my measure of success is not a numbers thing. It's not like, oh, there are 7 million people who have seen the video, streamed the thing. No, it's like there's 100 people who are like, yo, your shit really moves me, man. That was so deep. I was going through this thing, and like it's more of that. For me, that's my measure of success, which I also realize comes from a place of privilege, because my music doesn't sustain me. It doesn't need to sustain me.
Ooh, okay.
But I know that that's not the
So-
reality for a lot of people.
So what if, okay, imagine I'm this young guy and I badly need my music to sustain me, but I still, I'm different and,
Yeah. Yeah.
What advice would you give me?
I think if the thing that you're giving is good, be consistent.
Yeah.
I would say enter as many new spaces as possible. Try and expose as many new people to your sound as possible. Because the chances are, if you expose yourself to 100, 80 are going to come back and play the song again. If you expose
Yeah.
yourself to 5, only 3 are going to come back and expose yourself. So push yourself into more spaces. Collaborate. Try and like broaden that reach of where your audience potentially could be. So that you can start to build like a sustainable fan base that can sustain you.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the big diseases that these kind of people have. They're not as aggressive as
Aggressive.
in terms of pushing.
Yeah,
I
and marketing
think-
But
themselves for
also,
sure.
but also, that brings in another aspect of that situation. Some people are not naturally like that.
They're very modest.
They need a team that can push them. They are good at actually creating
doing,
the
yeah.
thing. When it comes to selling it, because the people who are good at selling, someone can sell you something you don't need. They will
Yeah.
convince you that
Yeah.
you have to
Oh,
buy.
no one
Yeah.
Cuba.
You know what I mean? And they're like people do that a lot.
Yeah.
You will love an artist. You're like, I don't understand his music, but somehow because these guys convince you that if you don't know this person's music, you are under a rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like to come back to your question better, I think it involves so many things. Sometimes it's personality. It's like some people have a complex. They feel like, oh, the world doesn't understand me, so let me just do my own thing. Some people are in that space.
Yeah.
So they keep to themselves and do their other things and feel good. They do a song for themselves and then they feel good about it. No, seriously. And then they're like, those guys just don't know what is good for their ears.
Yeah.
Like they're not really connected to the world. But then also the second thing was what MoRoots touched was like the perspective of success. Like speaking for me, I don't know, I think I was telling you some time back that even me, I'm surprised today that I still get gigs to perform at corporate functions, even if I don't do the regular nights. But I stopped playing regular nights a long time ago. But how am I getting those gigs? Because people don't necessarily see me on TV or like I'm not all over the place. But the foundation I laid when I, for example, I did Gatomato
You built your community.
for 5 years,
Yeah.
that community up to date,
They rock with you.
people will call me for weddings, for end of year parties, for birthday parties, for any kind of gig. And I don't know them, but they're like, I know you from the Gatomato days. I'm like, that That's
Bro,
like,
that was
you know what I
years
mean?
ago. Yeah.
Like I'm now an old man,
No,
but
you really laid a
they
good
still
foundation for yourself.
up to now, many years later, they're like,
A nice retirement plan.
and they still remember, and even when they call you, going back to what you said, when they call you, they know the music they want you to perform.
Yeah.
They're not going to call you to perform Fireboy or Banner. No, they're going to say that music that you used to
Yeah.
sing
Yeah.
is what we need you to sing. Very calm, those 90s R&B songs. That's what we want you to do. Don't sing Lingala. Don't do anything. They know. So there's that.
Yeah.
That space is there.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
it stays there for a very long time. The people you'll always get gigs that require you to perform that kind of music.
Yeah.
But then my third part is it's a social thing. When you become big, let's say in mainstream, it comes with so many other things. Yeah. For some people, it changes who they are completely. The way they dress, the way their faces look like, the shape of their bums, or like you have to change yourself. So some people might not be comfortable with that. They're like,
I don't want that kind of
yeah,
pressure.
I don't want to put myself in that position where the whole my life. Now the fans can even decide who you date. Why did you leave that girlfriend and then dated this one? Who else we want you to love the other? So they feel like they own your life. So some people look at that, they're like, or for the ladies, let's say if you want to be a good performer, you need to take off some of your clothes. And then the chick is like, then she's like, let me just stay in my bedroom and do. So you have to make. Some people have to make that choice. They're good. They could have made it, but to cancel that. These days, I've seen most of these artists who are coming up. They will come the way they are.
Yeah.
You will see a girl who comes wearing big T-shirts and funny shoes, and she'll be like, "This is
I'm here to sing.
this is what I do."
Alicia Cara.
Yeah,
She's always just putting on jeans and T-shirts.
yeah.
And big shoes. And
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing her thing.
Yeah.
I think if you really got it, something
you
with
got it.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish. I
Yeah.
think she has her own vibe. She's
Like this generation is good. Like they don't care.
Yeah.
Like this is what I do.
Yeah.
True.
You like it or not? Like this is it.
How important is it to understand how business runs in the entertainment industry? A lot of artists struggle with that side of the industry. Money. Even just dealing with corporate people.
Because they're like different people. The corporate people and the artists, they don't speak the same language.
No.
Like, what did you just
Not
say?
at all.
Because sometimes,
all.
I mean, it's
I
not like
know.
you're always just going to be making money off singing on stage. Sometimes,
Yeah.
they just want you to make an appearance somewhere
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
endorse a drink
Yeah.
or, just shed some light on that.
Yeah, I think more so now more than ever, music or being an artist is so multifaceted. As you said, like you're the musician, but you're also a brand.
True.
And a brand essentially is a business. And you need to think about your art, your craft as a business, right?
Yeah.
So if it was like this,
That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are a business.
yeah,
You're
Yeah.
not just an individual who sings.
yeah.
So you're supposed to view yourself as that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so I think if you have that shift or if you understand that, then it feels like a no-brainer because if you actually had like a tangible making earrings is my business. I need to understand my customer. I need to understand my value chain.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
understand if I make it for this and I sell it for this, what's happening. I need to
If I
understand
come
my
late, I'm
distribution.
going to lose money. So I have to come in time.
Yeah.
Do
It's
you
a
get
business.
it?
Yeah.
I have to understand how I'm going to market, how I'm going to advertise. I have to so if you apply that same principle to your craft,
Yeah.
then for me it feels like it's a no-brainer that you
Yeah.
have to understand how that works.
Yeah.
And again, coming back to that thing of productivity, your craft is time. It needs to pay back to you. So how much time are you investing in creating the material? How much time are you investing in promoting the material? Do you have the right networks? And maybe sometimes it's if you're fortunate enough to have a team of people who can do it for you, because it's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as creatives, we're not wired to think about that
Yeah,
stuff. We
that-
just want to
Yeah.
do the like
Music,
man,
the
let
cool-
me-
the
let me
fun
do the
things.
music. But I think if you're not in a position where you can have somebody who's passionate about you and hears your thing and says, you're a business and I'm going to make this thing work and I'm going to sell it, then you need to be clued up on
Yeah.
how that works.
Yeah.
Understand where your music goes, understand what's owed to you, understand elements of royalty when you put your
Yeah.
music on a platform, what's supposed to come back.
Yeah.
You know, I think we need to be like a lot more clued up
Yeah.
now, because it's very easy.
important.
And
It's very easy
aware.
to be taken advantage of, because music and the arts now are so profitable.
So
Yeah.
much.
Like
Yeah.
the arts are fueling economies.
Yeah.
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 Yeah? They're
Ooh.
bringing in just beyond music, beyond shows, festivals. See what happened in Ghana in December.
Yeah.
3 world-class festivals.
Yeah.
Afro Nation, Afrochella, Black Star. Do you know, like, that's the arts that has fueled an economy for 2
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so
a
powerful.
business, yo.
Even politicians are taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
That's where the power. If you want to get the numbers,
Pull the numbers.
Yeah.
use those guys.
You use music. You
Yeah.
use music to
Yeah.
touch people. So I think we absolutely need to be think about it like a business. I say
Yeah.
it though. I've not taken my own advice, but
Cool. well, you already
To a
said
certain
you. It's, for you, it's a privilege. You know. Anyway, unfortunately we've run out of time.
What?
Mo.
Oh my God.
It's
can you
been
just
an
stop the
hour.
recording and we keep talking?
No, let me. Can I ask
Well,
one more question
Go ahead. We can
wanted to
keep
ask-
going.
That went by quick.
for
eh?
another 5 minutes, maybe?
Okay.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. This is a direct question. Looking at your life ever since you started working, would you do it again?
Do what again?
The whole thing, or you
you
want to
do
do so
it
many
again?
things differently?
Um,
Do you nod your head and like, yeah? If I went back 12 years, I would do the same thing again.
I think I might.
Yeah. You know, as in you really feel good about your journey, innit?
I feel really good about
Yeah.
how far I've come. I feel good about the fact that I am like operating from a place of passion and purpose. I feel good about the fact that
Yeah.
I love what I'm doing. I feel good about the fact that I have been able to do what I love to do and to get paid for it.
Yeah.
I feel good about the fact that like I've met so many amazing people, like in this. Life is good, nah.
Yeah.
So, from
And do you feel like it's a do you acknowledge that it's a privilege, because not everyone is operating from that place of passion?
Oh, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
happy with what they are doing.
Yeah, no. It's a whole privilege. One, even finding out it's actually difficult to even find out. Like a lot of people, if you ask them, what do you love to do? Like, what's the thing that gives you
Yeah.
joy?
what you would do even if you weren't paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
actually struggle with that thing.
Thank you very much.
And it's a
what would I
fundamental
do?
question about like,
Yeah.
why am I here?
Yeah, people made Benon. People walk to me and they're like, "You look like you really enjoy what you do." Then they'll ask you, "How did you know that is what you should be doing?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people don't know.
Yeah.
They studied things, yes, and went to do the work that they do, but they're like, and you see, we're talking about our education system earlier. Like, I know some of my classmates who are really smart, who are really brilliant. They still are up to now
Yeah.
when it comes to academics.
Yeah.
But right now they feel like I feel like what you were doing is the way you
Onyumirwa.
yeah, like me, I'm working also. I'm a doctor and I have money, but I feel like you're more satisfied in life because you look like you. There are days, where I will go and treat people, but that's not what I want to be doing. Yeah.
So absolutely, I think
You do it again.
it is. I would do it again, because like vibes, man.
So I could be wrong, but I don't. I haven't heard that you're married yet. Do you think that being unmarried has helped you get to where you are now? Like you're not distracted by because I think if you had married and you had children.
This is just getting more and more.
And you had
awkward.
children, would it slow you down maybe?
I don't know because
I know.
Like
What do you
don't
think?
know. My hypothesis.
Philosophy.
My hypothesis is that's where I'd be if I was married. No, my hypothesis is I wouldn't have experienced the things that I have experienced
I think so
up until
too.
now.
Yeah.
If I got married earlier and I
I think
had
so
children.
too. Like for myself, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there is undoubtedly a beautiful freedom that comes with not being married and not having not that I'm not accountable to anybody, but not having people that are directly responsible for, and that you're accountable to. So I think for me, it's working.
Yeah.
May it continue to work. And I don't want to compare. But when I look because I think we're all walking our own individual lives. But I feel like it's worked for me. It's brought me this far. It's brought me this far this quickly.
And you're happy.
And I'm happy.
But you want to have babies
but
at some point.
Is it somewhere in the plan?
No, guys, it's not your business.
Oh.
Okay, that's fine. Like, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good answer. It's fair. Yeah.
I mean, we are all in the same boat.
It's true. I guess you and your babies.
It's not like we are doing any better.
No,
so.
because the experience is that, some of the people we hang out with, they have some amount of success in their work, but at some point, they start saying, okay, I have money, I have the cars, I have a house.
But what is it
Is that
for?
the next thing? Should that be the next thing?
I want some baby. I want my own baby. Or I want to spend my life with someone's son or something, or woman or whatever it is. Yeah, so at some point, after maybe they've hit the pinnacle of their career, they're like, okay, maybe now I can have an adventure in having what they call a family.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I think it's also at some point it may
It will
happen.
hit you.
At some point. But right now, where I've
You're
said
busy.
I want to prioritize my career, I'm also mobile. So I don't live here. I can be based in Kenya. I can be based in London. I can be based in Amsterdam. It's also a responsibility to find somebody who's going to be like, hey, okay, so we're now going to Amsterdam. Okay, we go. Hey, okay, so then we're now relocating to, and someone to walk that journey. So I think for me, I have my priorities at the moment. And at point X, we shall see.
The education that you had, do you think it kind of influenced who you are? Like, if you had children, would you necessarily take them to international schools? Do you think that affects how they view the world, how they relate, how they communicate? Is it advantageous?
Yeah,
You think it's?
I think it is. I think it makes a difference.
Okay.
I think the education, the mentality that you're instilled with, where your default is to ask questions and to ask why.
And not to be shy.
And to actually be confident about speaking up.
Okay.
And asking if the thing doesn't make sense, challenging. No, why are we doing it
Why?
this way? Why does that? I think that thinking and that mentality sets you up to be, I think, a more confident individual.
Yeah.
Dope.
That's
Guys, we gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go.
This has been so much fun.
We gotta go. It was the Master Bass, ladies and gentlemen.
This has been so good.
With MoRoots in
One more
the
time. Thanks for
Kizim,
coming,
baby.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
please,
Thanks for having us.
Keep on watching. Hey, do your thing. Do your thing. I don't know how to do that thing.
Okay, let's go. Everybody. Thank you for watching the show. Give it up for MoRoots. You can follow her on her social media pages. But like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow,
comment, share. Tambuza ka video kano.
Let's go.
Hey. Yo. MoRoots in that Kizim, baby. MoRoots in that Kizim, baby. MoRoots in that Kizim, baby. Hey. Go.
No, Steve, go.
Huh?
Freestyle.
Man,
Steve says he used to be a rapper.
Hey, don't
You know
bring
what?
out that story.
I had one rap. Keep
Go
it going.
ahead.
Okay.
Hey.
It's like only 4 bars though.
Okay,
Yeah?
okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
It
Let's
goes,
go.
You can call me Mo, multi-talented on this show. First
Hey.
playing the piano, now I'm spitting the flow.
Hey.
That's it.
Hey.
Hey.